The First Amendment is like the guardian of our freedom. It's what lets us speak our minds, practice any religion we believe in, or none at all, get together with others to talk about important stuff, and tell the government when we think things need to change. It's a big deal because it means we can express ourselves without worrying about getting in trouble. The Second Amendment is all about guns. It says we have the right to own them to keep ourselves safe, protect our homes, and use them for fun, like hunting or shooting targets. Basically, it's there to make sure we can defend ourselves and our country if we need to. The Third Amendment might seem kind of weird, but it's important. It says the government can't force us to let soldiers stay in our homes unless we say it's okay. That way, we get to keep our privacy and decide who comes into our house. The Fourth Amendment is like our shield against nosy police officers. It says they can't just barge in and search our stuff without a good reason and permission from a judge. It's there to make sure we're safe from unfair searches and seizures. The Fifth Amendment is our safety net if we ever get in trouble with the law. It says we don't have to say anything that might make us look guilty, and it guarantees us a fair trial. Plus, it makes sure we can't be punished twice for the same crime. The Sixth Amendment is like our guide to getting a fair trial. It says we have the right to know what we're being accused of, to see the evidence against us, and to have a lawyer to help us out. It's all about making sure we're treated fairly in court. The Seventh Amendment is all about fairness in lawsuits. It says, if we're ever in a big argument about money or property, we have the right to have our case heard by a jury of regular people like us. The Eighth Amendment is our protector against cruel punishment. It says the punishment has to fit the crime, and that we can't be treated in a way that's too harsh or mean. The Ninth Amendment reminds us that just because some rights aren't written down in the Constitution doesn't mean we don't have them. It's there to make sure we remember that we have more rights than just the ones that are listed. The 10th Amendment is all about keeping the balance of power. It says that if the Constitution doesn't give the federal government a certain power, that power belongs to the states or to the people. It's there to make sure no one branch of government gets too much control. The 11th Amendment makes sure that states can't be sued in federal court by people from other states or other countries without their consent. It's all about protecting the states' rights. The 12th Amendment changed the way we elect the president and vice president. It made the process clearer and smoother, so there's less confusion about who's in charge. The 13th Amendment ended slavery in the United States. It said that nobody can be forced to work for someone else without their consent. The 14th Amendment gave citizenship to everyone born or naturalized in the United States and made sure everyone is treated equally under the law. The 15th Amendment gave African American men the right to vote. It was a big step forward in making sure everyone has a say in how the country is run. The 16th Amendment gave the government the power to collect income taxes. It's what helps pay for things like roads, schools, and the military. The 17th Amendment changed the way senators are elected. It made it so that the people in each state get to vote for their senators instead of the state legislature choosing them. The 18th Amendment banned the making, selling, and transporting of alcohol in the United States. It was supposed to make things better, but it caused a lot of problems and was eventually repealed. The 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. It was a big win for women's rights and equality. The 20th Amendment changed the dates when the President and Congress start their terms. It made the transition of power smoother and quicker. The 21st Amendment ended prohibition, which banned alcohol. It was a relief for a lot of people who missed having a drink. The 22nd Amendment set a limit on how many times a person can be elected president. It was put in place to make sure no one person stays in power for too long. The 23rd Amendment gave people who live in Washington, D.C. the right to vote in presidential elections. It was about making sure everyone has a voice in choosing the president. The 24th Amendment made it illegal to have to pay a fee to vote in federal elections. It was a win for civil rights and made sure everyone has the right to vote, no matter how much money they have. The 25th Amendment spells out what happens if the president can't do their job. It makes sure there's a plan in place so that the country can keep running smoothly. The 26th Amendment lowered the voting age from 21 to 18. It recognized that young people have a stake in the country's future and should have a say in how it's run. The 27th Amendment stops members of Congress from giving themselves pay raises whenever they want. It makes sure they have to wait until after an election to get a raise.